Chapter 11 Vishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga. Arjuna's prayer for a vision of the universal form. The glories of the Lord have been described. Now, on hearing the Lord's statement that, I stand supporting the whole world by one part of myself, Arjuna was desirous to see with his own eyes that primal form of the Lord which is manifested as the universe, and accordingly said,
Atha ekadashodhyayaha Vishwarupa Darshana Yogaha. Arjuna Uvacha Madanugrahaya Paramam Guhyamadhyatma Sangitam Yatvayoktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vigato Mama.
Translation. Arjuna said, by that speech which has been delivered by you for my benefit, that highest secret which is called Adhyatma, this, my delusion, is gone. Adhyatma, that which treats of the distinction between the self and the non-self. Delusion, non-discrimination. Moreover,
Bhavapyayo hi bhutanam shrutau vistarsho maya Tvattah kamalapatraksha mahatmyamapi chavyayam.
Translation. The origin and the dissolution of beings, verily, have been heard by me in detail from you, O lotus-eyed, as also your inexhaustible greatness. In detail, not in brevity. Lotus-eyed, having eyes like lotus leaves.
Evametadyathapatvam atmanam parameshvara Drashtumichhami te rupamaishvaram purushottama.
Translation. So it is, as you, Supreme Lord, hast declared yourself to be. Still, I desire to see your form as Ishvara, O Purusha Supreme. Form etc., that of Vishnu, as possessed of infinite wisdom, sovereignty, strength, power, prowess and splendor.
Manyase yadi tatshakyam maya drashtumiti prabho Yogeshvara tato me tvam darshayatmanam avyayam.
Translation. If you, O Lord, thinkest it possible for me to see it, do you then, O Lord of Yogans, show me your eternal self. Then, because I am very anxious to see. Arjuna endowed with heavenly sight wherewith to see the universal form. Thus implored by Arjuna, the Lord said,
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashodha Sahasrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kritini Cha.
Translation. The blessed Lord said, see, O son of Pritha, my heavenly forms, by hundreds and thousands, of different sorts, and of various colors and shapes. Heavenly, supernatural. By hundreds and thousands, innumerable. Colors, such as blue, green and the like. Shapes, arrangements of parts.
Pashyadityan vasun rudran ashvinau marutastatha Bahunyadrishta purvani pashyascharyaani bharata.
Translation. Behold the Adityas, the Vasus, the Rudras, the Ashwins, and also the Maruts. Behold many marvels never seen before, O Bharata. Behold the 12 Adityas, the 8 Vasus, the 11 Rudras, the 2 Ashwins, the 7 heptads of Maruts. Behold also many other marvels never seen before by you or anybody else in this world of man. Not this alone.
Ihaikastham जगत्कृत्स्नं पश्याद्य सचराचरम् मम देहे गुडाकेश यच्चान्यद्द्रष्टुमिच्छसि.
Translation. Now behold here in my body, Gudkesha, the whole world established in one, including the moving and the unmoving and whatever else you desire us to see. Whatever else, your success or defeat, about which you have entertained a doubt. But
न तु मां शक्यसे द्रष्टुमनेनैव स्वचक्षुषा दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षुः पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्.
Translation. You art not indeed able to see me with this your eye alone. I give you a divine eye. Behold my lordly yoga. Me, putting on the universal form. This, Prakrita, of Prakriti, natural, fleshy, of the earth. I give you a divine eye, by which you will be able to see me. By that eye, behold my great miraculous power of yoga, that which belongs to me as Ishvara, the Lord's manifestation of the universal form.
सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा ततो राजन् महायोगेश्वरो हरिः दर्शयामास पार्थाय परमं रूपमैश्वरम्.
Translation. Sanjay said, having thus spoken, O king, then, Hari, the great lord of yogans, showed to the son of Pritha the supreme form as Ishvara. King, Dhritarashtra. Hari, Narayana. Form, the universal form.
अनेकवक्त्रनयनम् अनेकाद्भुतदर्शनम् अनेकदिव्याभरणम् दिव्यानेकोद्यतायुधम् दिव्यमाल्याम्बरधरम् दिव्यगन्धानुलेपनम् सर्वाश्चर्यमयम् देवमनन्तम् विश्वतोमुखम्.
Translation. Containing many mouths and eyes, possessed of many wondrous sights, of many heavenly ornaments, of many heavenly weapons held up. Such a form he showed. Wearing heavenly garlands and vestures, anointed with heavenly unguents, all wonderful, resplendent, boundless, with faces on all sides. With faces on all sides, as he is the self of all beings. Such a form he showed, or such a form did Arjuna see. Here follows an illustration, by an example, of the splendor of the Lord's universal form.
दिवि सूर्यसहस्रस्य भवेद्युगपदुत्थिता यदि भासदृशी सा स्यात् भासस्तस्य महात्मनः.
Translation. If the splendor of 1,000 suns were ever to present itself at once in the sky, that would be like the splendor of that mighty being. In the sky, in Antariksha or the middle loka, or in the heavenly region, which forms the third, from here. The mighty being, the universal form. If no such thing can ever exist, then the splendor of the universal form excels all else. Moreover,
तत्रैकस्थं जगत्कृत्स्नं प्रविभक्तमनेकधा अपश्यद्देवदेवस्य शरीरे पाण्डवस्तदा.
Translation. There, in the body of the God of gods, the son of Pandu then beheld the whole world established in one, and separated into many groups. There, in the form. Many groups, devas, pitras, men and other sorts of beings. The son of Pandu, Arjuna. God of gods, Hari.
ततः स विस्मयाविष्टो हृष्टरोमा धनञ्जयः प्रणम्य शिरसा देवं कृताञ्जलिरभाषत.
Translation. Then he, Dhananjaya, filled with amazement, with his hair standing on end, bowed down with his head, and, with joined palms, thus addressed the god. Then, having seen him, the god, putting on the universal form, with joined palms, in order to bow down. How? Arjuna declares his own experience, that he sees the universal form shewn by the Lord.
Arjuna uvacha Pashyami devanstava devadehe sarvanstatha bhuta vishesha sanghan brahmanamisham kamalasanastham rishishcha sarvan uragashcha divyan.
Translation. Arjuna said, I see all the gods, O God, in your body, as also hosts of various classes of beings, Brahma, the Lord, seated on the lotus seat, and all rishis and heavenly serpents. Various classes of beings, both animate and inanimate, and of various forms. Brahma, the four-faced, the Lord of creatures. He is seated in the center of the earth lotus, on the meru which forms the cup or seed vessel as it were of the earth lotus. Rishis, such as Vasishtha. Serpents, such as Vasuki.
Aneka bahudara vaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvatonantarupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishveshvara vishvarupa.
Translation. I see you of boundless form on every side with multitudinous arms, stomachs, mouths and eyes. Neither your end nor the middle nor the beginning do I see, O Lord of the universe, O universal form. Middle, what lies between two extremities? Moreover,
Kiritinam gadinam chakrinam cha tejo rashim sarvato diptimantam pashyami tvam durniriksham samantad diptanalarkadyutim aprameyam.
Translation. I see you with diadem, club, and discus, a mass of splendor shining everywhere, very hard to look at, all around blazing like burning fire and sun, and immeasurable. Immeasurable, whose limits cannot be fixed. Vishnu is one with the unconditioned. From this vision of your power of yoga, wonder-working, I infer.
Tvamaksharam paramam veditavyam Tvamasya vishvasya param nidhanam Tvamavyayah shashvata dharma gopta Sanatanastvam purusho mato me.
Translation. You are the imperishable, the supreme being worthy to be known. You art the great abode of this universe, you art the undying guardian of the eternal dharma, you art the ancient Purusha, I deem. To be known, by seekers of liberation. The universal form, continued. Moreover,
Anadimadhyantam anantaviryam Anantavahum shashisuryanetram Pashyami tvam deeptahutashavatram Swatejasa vishvamidam tapantam.
Translation. I see you without beginning, middle or end, infinite in power, of manifold arms, the sun and the moon being your eyes, the burning fire your face, heating the whole universe with your radiance.
Dhyava prithivyoridam hi Vyaptam tvayekena dishascha sarvaha Drishvadhutam rupamukram tavedam Lokatrayam pravyathitam mahatman.
Translation. This space betwixt heaven and earth and all the quarters are filled by you alone. Having seen this, your marvelous and awful form, the three worlds are trembling, O high-souled being. You, in your universal form. Now, in order to remove the doubt entertained by Arjuna, 2.6, as to his success, the Lord proceeds to show that victory for Pandavas is certain. Seeing him, Arjuna goes on.
अमीहि त्वां सुरसङ्घा विशन्ति केचित् भीताः प्राञ्जलयो गृह्णन्ति स्वस्तीत्युक्त्वा महर्षि सिद्धसङ्घाः स्तुवन्ति त्वां स्तुतिभिः पुष्कलाभिः.
Translation. Into you, indeed, enter these hosts of Suras. Some extol you in fear with joined palms. May it be well. Thus saying, bands of great rishis and siddhas praise you with hymns complete. These hosts of Suras, these warriors now fighting all, of them Devas, the Vasus and others, who have incarnated themselves as human beings for lightening the earth's burden. They are seen entering into you. Some of them only call out to you, unable even to flee. Having discovered portents and other forebodings of evil as the war approached, the great Rishis and Siddhas say may it be well for the world and offer their prayers to you in full hymns. The wonderfulness of the universal form moreover.
रुद्रादित्या वसवो ये च साध्या विश्वेश्विनौ मरुतश्चोष्मपाश्च गन्धर्वयक्षासुरसिद्धसङ्घा वीक्षन्ते त्वां विस्मिताश्चैव सर्वे.
Translation. The Rudras, Adityas, Vasus, and Sadhyas, Viswas and Ashwins, Maruds and Ushmpas, hosts of Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, and Siddhas, they are all looking at you, all quite astonished. Ushmpas, a class of Pitris. Gandharvas, such as Haha and Huhu. Yakshas, such as Kuber. Asuras, such as Virochna. Siddhas, such as Kapila. 4. The terribleness of the universal form. 4.
रूपं महत्ते बहुवक्त्र नेत्रम् महाबाहो बहुबाहूरुपादम् बहुदरं बहुदंष्ट्राकरालम् दृष्ट्वा लोकाः प्रव्यथितास्तथाहम्.
Translation. Having seen your immeasurable form, possessed, O mighty armed, of many mouths and eyes, of many arms and thighs and feet, and of many stomachs, and fearful with many tusks, the worlds are terrified, and I also. The worlds, all living creatures in the world. Here follows the cause of my terror.
नभस्पृशं दीप्तमनेकवर्णम् व्याताननं दीप्तविशालनेत्रम् दृष्ट्वा हि त्वां प्रव्यथितान्तरात्मा धृतिं न विन्दामि शमं च विष्णो.
Translation. On seeing you, your form, touching the sky, blazing in many colors, with mouths wide open, with large fiery eyes, I am terrified at heart and find no courage nor peace, O Vishnu. Many colors, fearful, putting on different shapes. Wherefore,
दंष्ट्राकरालानि च ते मुखानि दुष्कैव कालानलसन्निभानि दिशो न जाने न लभे च शर्मा प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास.
Translation. Having seen your mouths which are fearful with tusks and resemble time's fires, I know not the four quarters, nor do I find peace. Be you gracious, O Lord of gods and abode of the universe. Time's fires, the fires which consume the worlds at the time of dissolution, pralaya. I know not the four quarters, I cannot distinguish the east and the west, I cannot discriminate the different quarters. Arjuna's vision of the defeat of the enemy. My fear, too, of defeat at the hands of others is gone, for
सर्वे सहैवावनिपालसङ्घैः भीष्मो द्रोणः सूतपुत्रस्तथासौ सहास्मदीयैरपि योधमुख्यैः वक्त्राणि ते त्वरमाणा विशन्ति दंष्ट्राकरालानि भयानकानि केचिद्विलग्ना दशनान्तरेषु सन्दृश्यन्ते चूर्णितैरुत्तमाङ्गैः.
Translation. And all the sons of Dhritarashtra, with hosts of princes Bhishma, Drona and that son, Karna, of a charioteer, with the warrior chiefs of ours, enter hurrying into your mouth, terrible with tusks and fearful to behold. Some are found sticking in the gaps betwixt the teeth with their heads crushed to powder. Sons, such as Duryodhan. Ours, such as Drishtadayumna. Sticking, like a piece of flesh. How do they enter into your mouth? Arjuna says,
यथा नदीनां बहवोऽम्बुवेगाः समुद्रमेवाभिमुखा द्रवन्ति तथा तवामी नरलोकवीरा विशन्ति वक्त्राण्यभिविज्वलन्ति.
Translation. As many torrents of rivers flow direct towards the sea, so do these heroes in the world of men enter your flaming mouths. These, such as Bhishma. Why and how do they enter? Arjuna says.
यथा प्रदीप्तं ज्वलनं पतङ्गा विशन्ति नाशाय समृद्धवेगाः तथैव नाशाय विशन्ति लोकाः तवापि वक्त्राणि समृद्धवेगाः.
Translation. As moths hurriedly rush into a blazing fire for destruction, just so do these creatures also hurriedly rush into your mouths for destruction. The splendor of the universal form. But
लेलिह्यसेग्रसमानः समन्तात् लोकान् समग्रान् वदनैज्ज्वलद्भिः तेजोभिरापूर्य जगत्समग्रम् भासस्तवोग्राः प्रतपन्ति विष्णो.
Translation. You lick us up, devouring all worlds on every side with your flaming mouths, filling the whole world with flames. Your fears rays are blazing forth, O Vishnu. Vishnu, all-pervading. Because you art so fierce, wherefore
आख्याहि मे को भवानुग्ररूपो नमोऽस्तु ते देववर प्रसीद विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तमाद्यम् न हि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम्.
Translation. Tell me who you art, so fierce in form. I bow to you, O God Supreme, have mercy. I desire to know you, the original being. I know not indeed your doing. The Lord's advent for destruction of worlds.
श्रीभगवानुवाच कालोऽस्मि लोकक्षयकृत् प्रवृद्धो लोकान् समाहर्तुमिह प्रवृत्तः ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे येव स्थिताः प्रत्यनीकेषु योधाः.
Translation. The blessed Lord said, I am the mighty world-destroying time, now engaged in destroying the worlds. Even without you, none of the warriors arrayed in hostile armies shall live. Warriors, Bhishma, Drona, Karna and others. Such being the case,
तस्मात् त्वमुत्तिष्ठ यशो लभस्व जित्वा शत्रून् भुङ्क्ष्व राज्यं समृद्धम् मयैवैते निहताः पूर्वमेव निमित्तमात्रं भव सव्यसाचिन्.
Translation. Therefore do you arise and obtain fame. Conquer the enemies and enjoy the unrivaled dominion. By myself have they been already slain. Be you a mere instrument, O Savyasachin. Fame, that Bhishma and other Atirthas, great warriors, arrayed in the hostile army, unconquerable even to Devas, have been defeated by Arjuna. Such a fame is the result only of good karma. Enemies, such as Duryodhan Savyasachin, Arjuna who could shoot arrows even with the left hand.
द्रोणं च भीष्मं च जयद्रथं च कर्णं तथान्यानपि योधवीरान् मया हतास्त्वं जहिमा व्यधिष्ठा युध्यस्व चेतासि रणे सपत्नान्.
Translation. Drona and Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna and other brave warriors, these, killed by me, do you kill, fear not, fight, you shalt conquer the enemies. The Lord speaks of these warriors whom Arjuna had any reason to fear as killed by himself. Now it is evident why there should be any hesitation, on the part of Arjuna, concerning Drona and Bhishma. Drona was his teacher in the science of archery, was possessed of celestial weapons and was especially his, Arjuna's, own dear greatest guru. Bhishma had his death at his own command and was possessed of celestial weapons. He once entered into a single combat with Parsurama and was not defeated. As to Jayadratha, his father was engaged in austerity, firmly resolved that, whoever causes my son's head to drop down on earth, his head too shall fall. Karna, too, was furnished with an unerring Shakti, missile, given him by Indra. He was a son of the sun, born of a maiden. Wherefore he is also mentioned by name. Enemies, such as Duryodhan. Arjuna's adoration of the universal form.
Sanjaya uvacha etat shrutva vachanam keshavasya कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य.
Translation. Sanjay said, having heard that speech of Kesava, the crowned one, Arjuna, with joined palms, trembling, prostrating himself, again addressed Krishna, stammering, bowing down, overwhelmed with fear. When a man is overpowered with fear or with love, his eyes become full of tears, owing to the attack of pain or owing to the rise of joy, then his throat is choked up with phlegm, and this again causes indistinctness and dullness in speech. Thus did Arjuna speak in a stammering tone. Sanjay's speech on this occasion is very significant. How? Sanjay hoped that on seeing that his Dhritarashtra's son would certainly be killed for want to support if the unconquerable foe, including Drona, should be killed by Arjuna, Dhritarashtra might despair of success and bring about peace. Thus he hoped there would be happiness to both. Even to this, Dhritarashtra did not listen, owing to mighty destiny.
Arjuna uvacha sthane hrishikesh tava prakirtya jagat prahrishyatyanurajyate cha rakshansi bhitani disho dravanti sarve namasyanti cha siddha sangha.
Translation. Arjuna said, it is meet, O Hrishikesha, that the world is delighted and rejoices by your praise, Rakshasas. Fly in fear to all quarters, and all hosts of Siddhas bow to you. Praise, description of your glory. This verse may be also rendered so as to mean, the Lord is the proper object of delight and love, for the Lord is the self of all and the friend of all beings. Siddhas, such as Kapila. It is meet that such should be the case so far as you are concerned. For the following reason also the Lord is the object of delight, etc.
कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन् महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परं यत्.
Translation. And how should they not, O mighty being, bow to you, greater than all else, the primal cause even of Brahma, O infinite being, O Lord of gods, O abode of the universe, you are the imperishable, the being and the non-being, that which is the supreme. Brahma, the Hiranyagarbha. Because you are the mighty being, therefore you are the proper object of delight and worship. You are the supreme being, as revealed in the Vedantas, Upanishads, you are the Sat and the Asat. The existent, as well as the non-existent, that with reference to which arises our consciousness of non-existence, form the upadhis, conditions, of the akshara, on account of which he is spoken of as the Sat or the Asat, the existent or the non-existent in reality, the imperishable, akshara, whom the Veda knowers speak of transcends the Sat and the Asat, and he is yourself and none else. He again extols the Lord thus.
त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम् वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततं विश्वमनन्तरूप.
Translation. You art the primal God, the ancient Purusha, you art the supreme abode of all this, you art the knower and the knowable and the supreme abode. By you is all pervaded, O being of infinite forms. Primal God, because you art the creator of the universe. Purusha, so called because he lies in the body abode, that in which the universe rests during the great pralaya and such other periods. Knower, of all the knowable things. Supreme abode, of Vishnu. Moreover,
वायुर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणश्च शाङ्कः प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वः पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते.
Translation. You art Vayu, Yam, Agni, Varuna, the moon, Prajapati, and the great-grandfather. Hail! Hail to you, a use and times, and again hail I hail to you. Prajapati, such as Kashyapa. Great-grandfather, the father even of Brahma. Again, this shows Arjuna's dissatisfaction due to his extreme faith and devotion. And
Namah purastadh pृष्ठतस्ते नमोऽस्तु ते सर्वत एव सर्व अनन्तवीर्यामितविक्रमस्त्वं सर्वं समाप्नोषि ततोऽसि सर्वः.
Translation. Hail to you before and behind. Hail to you on every side. O all! You, infinite in power and infinite in daring, pervadest all, wherefore you art ale. Before, in the east. On every side, as you art present in all quarters. A man may be powerful, but he may not dare to slay the enemies, or he may be slow in daring, but you art infinite both in power and in daring. Pervadest by your one self. O all, without you nothing exists. Arjuna's prayer for the Lord's forgiveness. Because I have been a sinner for want of knowledge of your greatness, therefore.
सखेति मत्वा प्रसभं यदुक्तम् हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति अजानता महिमानं तवेदम् मया प्रमादात् प्रणयेन वापि यच्चावहासार्थमसत्कृतोऽसि विहारशय्यासनभोजनेषु एकोऽथवाप्यच्युत तत्समक्षम् तच्छामये त्वामहमप्रमेयम्.
Translation. Whatever was rashly said by me from carelessness or love, addressing you as, O Krishna, O Yadava, O friend, looking on you merely as a friend, ignorant of this your greatness, in whatever way I may have insulted you for fun while at play, on bed, in an assembly, or at meals, when alone, O Achyuta, or in company, that I implore you, immeasurable, to forgive. Looking on you merely as a friend, owing to misconception. Greatness, the universal form as Isvara. Carelessness, the mind being attracted elsewhere. Love, confidence born of affection. That, all those offenses. 4.
पितासि लोकस्य चराचरस्य त्वमस्य पूज्यश्च गुरुर्गरीयान् न त्वत्समोऽस्त्यभ्यधिकः कुतोऽन्यो लोकत्रयेऽप्यप्रतिमप्रभाव.
Translation. You art the Father of this world, moving and unmoving. You art to be adored by this world, you the greatest Guru, for your equal exists not, whence another, superior to you, in the three worlds, O being of unequaled greatness? Your equal exists not, for there cannot be two Isvaras or Lords. If there were more than one Isvara, the world could not get on as it now does. When even your equal exists not, how can there exist a being superior to you? Because it is so.
तस्मात् प्रणम्य प्रणिधाय कायम् प्रसादये त्वामहमीशमीड्यम् पितेव पुत्रस्य सखेव सख्युः प्रियः प्रियायार्हसि देव सोढुम्.
Translation. Therefore, bowing down, prostrating my body, I implore you, adorable Lord, to forgive. It is meet you shouldst bear with me as the father with the son, as friend with friend, as the lover with the beloved. As a father forgives his son's offenses. Arjuna's prayer for the Lord's resumption of his usual form.
अदृष्टपूर्वं ध्यसितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपम् प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास.
Translation. I am delighted, having seen what was unseen before, and, yet, my mind is confounded with fear. Show me that form only, O God, have mercy, O God of gods, O abode of the universe. When one Isvara desires to create, another may desire to destroy. There is no guarantee that all the different Isvaras would be of one mind, and as they would all be independent of each other, the effort of one Elisvara in one direction would be neutralized by that of another in the opposite direction. The world could not exist as it exists now. What was unseen before, the universal form never before seen by me or anybody else. Therefore show me only that form, which you wearest, as my friend.
किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्तम् इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव तेनैव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते.
Translation. I wish to see you as before, crowned, possessed of the club, with the discus in the hand, in your former form only, having 4 arms, O thousand-armed, O universal form. Your former form, as the son of Vasudeva. Thousand-armed, referring to the universal form manifested at present. Withdrawing your universal form, do you put on your former one? The Lord resumes his usual form. Seeing Arjuna afraid, the Lord withdrew the universal form, and consoling Arjuna with sweet words, he said,
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Maya prasannena tavarjunedam Rupam param darshitam atma yogat Tejomayam vishwamanantamadhyam Yanme tvadanyena nadrishtapurvam.
Translation. The blessed Lord said, By me, gracious to you, O Arjuna, this supreme form has been shown, by my sovereign power full of splendor, the all, the boundless, the original form of mine, never before seen by any other than yourself. The Lord praises that form on the ground that you, Arjuna, shouldst be considered to have attained all your ends by this vision of my form.
Na veda yajnadhyanairna danaihi na chakriyabhirna tapobhirugraihi evam rupah shakya aham nruloke drashtum tvadanyena kuru pravira.
Translation. Not by study of the Vedas and of the sacrifices, nor by gifts, nor by rituals, nor by severe austerities, can I be seen in this form in the world of man by any other than yourself, O hero of the Kurus. Though a regular study of the 4 Vedas includes that of the sacrifices also, the study of the sacrifices is separately mentioned in order to imply that a knowledge of the sacrifices is necessary. Rituals, such as Agnihotra austerity, such as Chandrayana. Some believe that the study of the Vedas consists in learning the texts by rote without understanding the meaning. It is therefore necessary to separately enjoin that the meaning of the Vedas, i.e., of the nature of the sacrifices treated of in them, should also be learnt. It consists in diminishing the daily consumption of food by 1 mouthful every day for the dark half of the month, beginning with 15th at the full moon until the quantity is reduced to 0 at the new moon, and then increasing it in like manner during the fortnight of the moon's increase.
माते व्यथा मा च विमूढभावो दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरमीदृङ्ममेदम् व्यपेतभिः प्रीतमनाः पुनस्त्वम् तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य.
Translation. Be not afraid nor bewildered on seeing such a terrible form of mine as this. Free from fear and cheerful at heart, do you again see this my former form? Former form, which is so dear to you, 4-armed, wearing a conch, discus and a club.
Sanjaya uvacha ityarjunam vasudevasthathoktva swakam rupam darshayamasa bhuyah ashvasayamasa cha bhitamenam bhutva punah saumya vapur mahatma.
Translation. Sanjay said, having thus spoken to Arjuna, Vasudeva again showed his own form, and the mighty being, becoming gentle in form, consoled him who was terrified. His own, as born in Vasudeva's family.
अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वेदं मानुषं रूपं तव सौम्यं जनार्दन इदानीमस्मि संवृत्तः सचेताः प्रकृतिं गतः.
Translation. Arjuna said, having seen your gentle human form, O Janardana, now I have grown serene, and returned to my nature. Devotion as the sole means to the realization of the universal form.
श्रीभगवानुवाच सुदुर्दर्शमिदं रूपं दृष्टवानसि यन्मम देवा अप्यस्य रूपस्य नित्यं दर्शनकाङ्क्षिणः.
Translation. The blessed Lord said, very hard to see is this form of mine which you hast seen. Even the Devas ever long to behold this form. Long to behold, tough they long to see the form, yet they have not seen it as you have done, nor shall they ever see it.
नाहं वेदैर्न तपसा न दानेन न चेज्जया शक्य एवं विधो द्रष्टुं दृष्टवानसि मां यथा.
Translation. Not by Vedas, nor by austerity, nor by gifts, nor by sacrifice, can I be seen in this form as you hast seen me. How canst you be seen? Listen.
भक्त्या त्वनन्यया शक्या अहमेवं विधोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप.
Translation. But by undistracted devotion can I, of this form, be known and seen in reality, and entered into, O harasser of your foes. Undistracted devotion, bhakti, that devotion which never seeks any other object except the Lord, and in virtue of which no object other than Vasudeva is cognized by any of the senses. Of this form, of the universal form. By this sort of devotion it is possible not only to know me as declared in the Shastras, but also to intuitively realize me as I am, and to enter into me, i.e., to obtain liberation. The essence of the whole teaching of the Gita. Now the essential teaching of the whole Gita Shastra which conduces to highest bliss will be summed up here, the teaching being such as everyone should follow.
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमो मद्भक्तः सङ्गवर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यः स मामेति पाण्डव.
Translation. He who does works for me, who looks on me as the Supreme, who is devoted to me, who is free from attachment, who is without hatred for any being, he comes to me, O Pandav. A servant works for his master, but he does not look upon that master as the highest goal for him to reach after death, but my devotee works for me and also looks on me as the supreme goal. I am this supreme goal. He is devoted to me, he serves me alone in all manner of ways, with his heart and soul. He is not attached to wealth, to progeny, to friends, to wife, to kinsmen, or to pleasures, for them he has no attachment or love. He cherishes no feeling of enmity for any of the creatures, even though these latter may have done great injury to him. Such a man comes to me. I am his highest goal, and he seeks nothing else. This is the teaching I have to offer to you, O Pandav.
ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे विश्वरूपदर्शनयोगो नाम एकादशोऽध्यायः.
Thank you for watching. Please support us. Please like, share, subscribe.